Hello, this is Pepperboy and welcome to my first ever devlog. This video is different than most of the videos on my channel, so if you're confused, please go watch the last video, which is like a channel update.
Oh, by the way, this game was made by two people, me and Jamal Creates, and we normally have a third guy, Taki Bunker, who does music, but he was on vacation this time.
Anyway, this past weekend I participated in the 4th Game Jam. If you don't know what a game jam is a game game dev competition where you have to make a game in a set amount of time, which can be anywhere from 1 hour to forever, I guess. And it normally is based around a theme.
This jam was 3.5 days long, and I stayed up until 1 AM to see that the theme is...
Collaborate with AI.
That is a pretty interesting theme in my opinion, but I didn't have too many ideas. The best one I had was this game called Dumber Dwarves. Well, that wasn't really an idea, it's just copying. So I had to think of something new, so my idea was like you're a dog and you have to like somehow guide a Roomba to somewhere or something. I don't know, it was 2 AM. It's fine. So yeah, we decided to just try to do that somehow. So the next morning we got this, I'd hesitate to call it a prototype, but something going, and it had some amazing art by Jamal, a little bit of code by me, and I don't know, we didn't really feel it, so we just decided to scrap it and do a completely different project with a few hours of work down the drain. The new idea is a platformer where you have to move around and dodge enemies, and you have a little friend who shoots the enemies for you. So after I got that player movement done, which I didn't steal from my other projects at all, I ended up making the jelly friend, which just follows the player around. And then I added an enemy, which only stands still right now, but whenever the player goes close to it, the jelly attaches to it and will eventually start shooting, but not yet. I added these cool looking portals, and the plan is that the enemies will spawn in them, and then they'll just walk to one side, and then they'll just forever be going that way, and the player will have to dodge them. So I did that, and now the enemies move into one direction and can go through the portals. And next up was to add enemies damaging the player and the jelly damaging the enemies, which I did. And I also added a background, some animations for the enemies, and a few other things.
And then I added the starts of the upgrade system, so whenever you get enough XP, you'll get a new upgrade from this drop-down menu, which right now only has tests, but eventually it will have upgrades. And there were only 24 hours left, so I knew I had to start going faster. And this clip was the last clip I had before I went into full crunch mode. I had some basic upgrades working, and I was like, wow, this game is actually starting to be kind of fun. And I also had to like tweak everything just every second. I was constantly fiddling with like how fast the enemies went and how much the enemies spawned and how like where the jelly could shoot so that it doesn't miss, because it used to miss so much more than it does in the current version. But then I changed where the jelly was, and yeah, it was a long night doing a lot of stuff, and I guess now it's time to show you the completed game. And here it is. I created the start screen, and once you start, there was a tutorial that I made. I hope it at least somewhat works, because when I was playtesting earlier, nobody understood the game at all. And I think this might help a bit. So you get upgrades. I did add quite a few more upgrades since the last time. And then also I changed it so that the enemy shoots from behind instead of from like above. And yeah, it's a pretty good game, I think. I did make it too difficult, but I will have an update coming after the jam rating is over, which will have fixes so that it's more, so that there's difficulty modes and a lot of other just like small fixes. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and subscribe if you want to watch more devlogs, and yeah, see ya.